Okay, this is NCN TV for North County News, and we're here with Greg Ball, who is the Assemblyman for the 90th District in New York State. And Greg, you want to talk about you had a very big dinner tonight at Travelers Rest. This is April 22nd with Dick Morris. And why don't we start off by you telling the audience the announcement that you made about your next campaign.
Well, we're here for the state Senate seat, which is Senate 40. And, Bruce, at the end of the day, this is an extremely important seat. It's an open seat, which makes it different from the vast majority of seats where a lot of times in the Assembly or Senate, it's only death of the incumbent that actually brings any sort of change. These guys have like 98% re-election rates. And what you have are two competing forces. I'm a limited government guy. I love New York State, and I'm extremely worried. I mean, I'm the first in my family to graduate from college, and my mom, who never graduated from high school, went to work when she was 17 years old. She worked at Harlem Valley Psychiatric Center for over 30 years. She cleaned homes in the rich folks' homes during the day, and a lot of times worked overtime. And that wasn't a one-time thing. That was a way of life. And she worked so hard because she believed she was giving her children, me, my brothers, my sister, a better standard of life. And America has made that promise to millions of people. And what's scary is that for the first time in American history, it's shown that we don't believe that. And especially in New York State, where we've lost 2 million New Yorkers, we're hemorrhaging jobs, we're number one in all the wrong ways. Foreclosures, overregulation, small business owners closing up shop, entrepreneurs hemorrhaging out of the state. And the New York State legislature is controlled by New York City Democrats. And they don't get the reality that we have a property tax crisis in the Hudson Valley. They don't get the fact, they think we're all rich. I live in a 400 square foot cabin. I'm not rich, I'm a blue collar guy. A lot of people, when I knock on people's homes, working families, they may make $200,000 a year, but they're hamsters in a wheel. They're just getting by. They're driving the kids around. They don't know whether they're going to be able to save enough to send their children to school one day, to college. They don't know whether they're going to be able to stay in the state. Seniors, at the point in their life when they should be able to enjoy their homes, are being taxed out. I mean, these are people that built the community over decades. And the New York City contingent, first, they're against reform. And they don't understand our concerns. And if we do not get back the New York State Senate this year, and this seat is pivotal to that, it's going to be lights out for the state of New York. And this seat has been in Republican hands. I am a very independent person. And legislator. I was the only legislator in the state, Republican, to stand up and ask Joe Bruno to step down 2 years before his indictment. So I'm not saying vote for me because I'm a Republican. I'm saying vote for me because I will be the most energetic, forceful, and independent voice that state legislature has ever seen. And we have to get back the majority to have some sort of checks and balances. My opponent on the Democratic side, as nice as he may be, as good a family man he may be, at the end of the day, his campaign will be force-fed money from New York City and from the New York City Democrats. And if he were elected and sent to Albany, he would be beholden to them. Because both parties aren't looking for leaders, they're looking for puppets. And my campaign is a grassroots campaign. You saw it tonight. These are small business people. These are moms and dads. These are postal workers and construction guys and bus drivers who just want their state and their country back. And we're raising it $50 a time, $100 a time. We're going to raise a good amount of money. But it's grassroots. And when I get elected with that grassroots support, because I'm not the party favorite, I'm the skunk at the picnic, and never have been the party favorite, and I don't want to be. I'm not going to Albany make friends. I'm going to Albany make a difference. When I arrive there again in the Senate, I will be beholden not to my party and not to the special interests, but to the people that you saw in the room and the people that are home that couldn't afford to be in that room, that are just trying to pay their taxes.
And you're referring to your opponent, who is Democrat County Legislator Mike Kaplowitz, and you have said that you want him to retract some allegations he made against you, and he's saying he won't. I mean, do you intend to proceed with a litigation against him?
It's really up to him. I have watched him. There have been candidates who have run against him in the past at the local level who haven't been well funded. And he's very loose with the facts. He likes to come across as being good with numbers. But it's easy to be good with numbers when you make them up. And you try to make them up in a convincing fashion. And that number that he pulled out was a $38,000 number. It was malicious. And if he doesn't want to detract it, that's fine, but he'll face a lawsuit. And it's not. I've never sued anybody. as part of a political campaign in my entire life. I don't like to play those games in any sense. It's a waste of resources and energy. But when you have a candidate who is so hungry to get headlines that they will accuse you of things like, just horrible things in order to get that headline, because they know if they actually have a serious discussion about what may have happened, well, it won't be sexy enough to get in the paper. And Bruce, it's an indictment about where we are. Why do we, in politics, what does it say about a candidate who you have to demonize your opponent to the point where you look good? Why can't we just have a serious discussion about the issues? And have a discussion about tax reform, reforming Albany, the environment, limited government, the expansion of government. There's enough substance there to sell enough papers and to have enough of a campaign. To have to demonize me to the point where now they're sending out unidentified robocalls saying that I was arrested. Which, once again, I'm a former Air Force captain, Air Force Academy graduate. I've lived a good life. I play by the rules. And to think that he wasn't even announced, and they're sending out robocalls attacking me, complete lies, completely malicious. If it turns out that it does connect back to Tax Hike Mike, which I believe they will, we'll add on to that defamation lawsuit. But why have we gotten to a point in American politics where you have to demonize your opponent? You have to make your opponent look so bad so you look good. I don't get it. I'm going to run a very hard campaign on the issues. We're going to run a grassroots campaign. I'm going to hold him accountable on his tax hikes. I'm going to hold him accountable on all of his connections with Andy Spano and how he supported the expansion of big government. I'm going to hold him accountable on the pay increases that he was, part of. And I'm going to hold him accountable on being part of really a gang of legislators in White Plains that comes close, maybe doesn't do it, but comes close to make Albany look good. He'll be held accountable on the issues, but not in his personal life, because I don't play those games.
And you also have used the phrase, with regard to him, career politician.
Right.
He came back. We interviewed him the other night. He had an event here at Travelers Rest as well. And so his response to the career politician label is that, well, he's the one that has a private practice as a financial planner, and that he intends to keep doing that.
And Bruce, that's actually very scary. That's exactly what's wrong in the state Senate, because these guys use their positions of public trust for their private benefit. And I think if you look at some of the deals that he's had and the relationships he's had on the county level, where he has clients who also do business with the county, that would only be exacerbated in Albany. And we see it with Pedro Espada. We saw it with Joe Bruno. We see it with Sheldon Silver. And I'm certain that Tax Hike Mike would absolutely love to keep his current practice going, because he can hide behind something called attorney-client privilege. He's an attorney. So he can get $50,000 transfers, $75,000 transfers through his law firm, as happens on a daily basis.
Well, although he's a practicing financial planner.
Absolutely.
Right.
So you have both the financial side, and then you have the legal cover as well. So it could be, and this is what Joe Bruno did. But Joe Bruno wasn't an attorney. Sheldon Silver's an attorney. Sheldon Silver's not in jail. Joe Bruno is. Joe Bruno ran a consulting firm, and he got caught, which is good. A good thing that he was indicted. But there are a lot of senators and assemblymen in Albany that have turned member items and capital grants into a professional sport. And they transfer that money into nonprofits. They transfer that money into their law firms, into their private business, through subcontractors and other ways. And it really is welfare for the rich and well-connected in the state of New York. And by him admitting that he wants to continue his practice, Bruce, I don't know how you can be ineffective. I work 17 to 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm in the community nonstop. I don't have any free time. These guys that run law firms and have their nonprofits on the side and are involved in business, I don't know how they do it and still serve the needs of their constituency.
And tonight, Greg, you spoke in favor of term limits,
Absolutely.
right?